In this video, I'm going to walk through some of the user interface changes in the latest build of Cantabile, because some of the settings that you might be familiar where they were before may have moved, and you might be wondering where they've gone to. So this is the previous build, build 4140, and this is the build that has these changes, 4150. Now the main thing that's changed is the context menus here have been cleaned up significantly. So you can see this menu here was getting quite out of hand. It had kind of a mix of audio MIDI stuff, these kind of odd settings here that didn't really have anywhere else to live. So if you look in the new build, you see the menu's been cleaned up. A lot of the MIDI commands have been grouped into this single menu here, and then all of those other options have been moved into a new properties page. So each of these objects now, the plugins, racks and media players, have one of these properties dialogues, and all these settings that were over here before, most of them have moved into here. You can see also there's the audio ports for the plugin, and for plugin information is also here, so that's the command that used to be down here. The compatibility settings that were down here have also been moved into here, the upscaling options and so forth. Same for media player, you can see the menu's been cleaned up. There's these new property pages for audio MIDI ports, etc. Now the one that's a bit different is the one for racks. So racks have two sets of properties. The first is the properties of the slot itself, and the second is the properties of the rack itself. So for the slot, you'll see there's just the name and the color, and whether it's a primary view. Everything else is a property of the rack. So to edit the actual rack properties, you need to go into the rack, and then from here you can go to File, Rack Properties, and here you'll find where it's saved, the old file that used to be over here, File, Rack Options when you were in a rack. So that's all been moved to here. The MIDI and audio ports pages have been moved into here. There's a new comments page, which I've got another video about that. So this is where you edit the MIDI and audio ports for a rack. So those commands used to be able to get to them from here, the rack audio and MIDI ports. These commands are no longer available from the top level song. You actually need to go into the rack. And the reason for that is because it interferes with the undo manager. So because these property pages now are undoable, any changes you make in here you can go undo. The problem would be if I brought up the actual racks property pages while you're in here and then you went edit undo, it wouldn't actually undo this racks properties, it would actually undo the last thing you did in this song. So that's why I've moved it in here and made it more explicit that you need to go into this song. I think you can also get to the rack properties here just by right clicking on the input or output ports. Okay, so just be aware of that if you're looking for that. And yeah, any other options which used to be somewhere here, they've probably been moved into a properties page. And that's about it. The route menus are still pretty much the same. I've added an enabled menu here just to make it a bit easier to enable and disable a route, mainly when you're in the wiring view. It saves you having to go down to the bottom panel to do that. Okay, so that's it. If you're looking for a missing property, look in the properties page.